Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Micronaut 4 tutorial. We'll continue with our bank account API. In the previous episode, we've been generating an OpenAPI specification from our code. So we used an annotation processor that is provided by the Micronaut framework to generate YAML files from our Micronaut controllers. This time we're going to go and do it the other way around. We're going to go contract first, which is in my opinion the way to go. First you define your contract, your API, how it should look like, and then you can use this specification to generate your Java artifacts. And here is where Micronaut 4 helps us with a new Gradle plugin. What I did is I took the OpenAPI specification that was generated in the previous episode, adjusted it a little bit, and as you can see, we still have our API that is able to list accounts, update and create accounts, and delete an account. So in order to generate Java artifacts, I had to get rid of the annotation processor. So this OpenAPI annotation processor of Micronaut is not present anymore. But what we introduced now is a new Gradle plugin, because the magic happens here at build time. So there is this Gradle plugin that in respects actually this new extension here. I'm telling the plugin, hey, my specification is over here. And now please generate server and client code. So it can do both. But if you don't need client code, you can simply omit this part and just concentrate on the server. So there's this extension allows you to define where in what package you want to have your API code. Then there is also a separate package that for the model code. The model is actually the request body and the response body. You can tell whether you want to use reactive features and if you want to use bean validation. If you use bean validation, please make sure you also declare these two dependencies. Then a nice thing, especially for the HTTP client interfaces, is the usage of optional. So when something is not present, instead of null, you can use optional Java optionals, which gives you the more fluent programming. And last but not least, if you work with Micronaut security, you have the ability to use security features here. But in our example, this is turned off. We are a public API, so we don't care about security features at that point. Okay then, so in order to get started, we can run, let's just clean this project for now. We can run compile Java. Here we go. And what happens then is the Gradle plugin starts to generate code for us. Let's concentrate first on the server side. I mentioned there is a separation between the API and the model. So in the model, I have types such as the account, of course. As you can see, it generates the account with ID, account number, and the monetary amount. This is a custom type that has a currency and an amount as a big decimal. In the API part, we'll find an interface that actually declares all the operations. So as you can see, when creating account, we are posting stuff, and also validations are applied. Same for delete, and so on and so forth. So the nice thing about this is, now if I want to implement my controller, I simply can implement this interface and add control annotation then, and then I'm forced to implement these methods. That's it. The same goes for the client. This is redundant here, but we're using a different package, so our test can now use, instead of having to implement this HTTP client myself, I can simply use the account API from the client package, and everything else works as before. So these tests run, they simply work. If you want to see what's going on while executing tests, I added logback test XML configuration, so I can configure my logger for the test environment separately. And by adding the trace level to this to the HTTP client package, I can see what request responses are transferred. So as you can see, this test now executed get localhost. Micronaut test uses a random port, and we can see here what accounts are returned. Same goes for this conversation here. So as you can see, this is actually a quite nice way to getting started with API, going the contract first way, because you can take your time designing your API properly and then let the framework or the plugin generate the code for you. I hope you like this episode, and please subscribe to get updated when I release a new episode. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.